Number one thing that's trending in the SEO community right now is a lot of people migrating from one platform to another platform and losing tons of rankings. And that's been trending more and more in SEO groups, in my own Discord, I mean, everywhere on social media as well. So I decided to make this video. I put together a comprehensive document here along with the case studies, which you guys can actually see. So that way you can get an idea of what you need to do when you're deciding between going from like platform A to platform B. So you migrated your website and you lost your rankings. Now what? Number one thing that you guys need to do is do not panic, because this happens to everybody that migrates from one platform to another. And I can show you many examples of our clients that we've helped from making a migration, or after they made a migration themselves and then they hired us to come and help them. So take a look at the first one over here. This guy used to rank for 20,000 keywords. And by the way, this is an e-commerce store that sells athletic wear. They were on the Shopify. They decided to migrate over to the BigCommerce, and then as a result, they dropped in rankings. That's one. Here's another excellent example of rankings dropping after the migration. The store actually sells a wide range of canvas. They actually made two migrations. The first migration that they actually did was from WooCommerce to Shopify, and you can see the big dip all the way down here. And then the second migration, after taking a couple of years to recover from this, they decided to make another migration from Shopify back to WooCommerce. So you might ask, like, why do some people like make these kind of decisions? Well, they don't necessarily make these kind of decisions. Some business owners, they don't know. Some people actually hire the wrong agencies to work with, and then they make different decisions based on like how they can milk a client for money. So I mean, there is a lot of craziness that goes on out there in the world. So this is the third one right here. The graph below shows the migration from WooCommerce to Shopify. This store sells pillows, mattresses, and bed sheets. It's actually quite a bit of a big store, it dropped from 79,800 keywords all the way down to 59,900 keywords. Actually, it was slightly lower than that, but after we've been trying to help with the migration process, the rankings have been actually coming up, and that is an ongoing process right now. So going down here, here's my favorite case study, right? And I'm gonna go in details. I'm gonna show you guys numbers. I'm gonna show you guys everything here so that you can get an idea of like what actually happens. And the store here operates in a fitness niche. They're selling digital fitness products such as training programs for different types of areas of fitness that people are interested in. They've been on a WordPress since 2021, and as a result, they were ranking for 88,100 keywords. And when they did make the migration, which took place on November 1st, 2023, you can see the big drop right here. It's like a tsunami, like just hit them. And in December, we were actually at 12,679 keywords, but it didn't drop down to this. Like, I actually had a screenshot that I was trying to find that I could not dig up. I have a lot of screenshots, a lot of case studies of my clients, because we have a lot of clients that we work with on the e-com side. So I don't know exactly what I named the file, but it was actually 6,800 keywords that these guys actually dropped all the way down right after the migration. So we came in right after the migration to really help these guys, because they were like, oh my goodness, we're losing everything, we need help. So here's an interesting thing to absorb about this account, right? At the time in November, when they were ranking for 88,000 keywords, they were actually pulling in 36,929 organic visitors from the keywords that they were ranking for. Now, in the month of November, this brand made $327,000 in sales. And here's the screenshot from their Shopify account. I have the name blurred out because I can't give out these clients' names. They would get pissed at me. I'm sharing their actual numbers from their Shopify account, and I cannot betray my NDAs with them. So anyways, that's not important. What's important is you understanding what's going on here once the migration takes place. So as you can see, there was a giant spike in sales on the graph. And that was not because of the SEO traffic. That was actually mainly attributed to email and SMS marketing efforts that we put in, because it's November, right? It's the last 2 weeks of November. That's when the most sales actually happen throughout the year. So you can see that, based on those dates, you can see the giant spike, and the store averages around like $100,000 to $130,000 in sales month after month. That's their average. So you can take a look at the sales from the previous month, from month of October. They did $124,000 in sales. So that just kind of gives you a rough idea of what these guys like average with the sales. Now, diving deeper into here, this is in December, website keywords dropped to 12,679, right? What I was showing you on a graph earlier. While the traffic only dropped 6,929 compared to the previous month, which basically resulted in revenue drop for 40 to 50K based on the average numbers that the store was pulling in. So in December, this is the keyword amount that they were ranking for. This is the traffic that they generated, 30,734, and then sales dropped down to 81,716. So, that's a pretty big drop in the revenue, right? Now, the January rankings are starting to pick up the momentum. But before we, talk about that, right? What you have to understand is what generates sales from SEO is the keywords that are actually in top positions on the first page of Google. Like the second page of Google does get a little bit of a traffic, but it doesn't get enough traffic for you to like really have consistent sales. So you always want to target to be on the first page of Google, and when you are on the first page of Google for the keywords that you want to actually generate sales from, you want to push those keywords in the top 3 positions. And that's why, SEMrush and Ahrefs and all the other SEO tools have a measurement in place that show you what your keywords, your website ranks for are actually in top 3 positions on the first page of Google, because that's what's going to be the most, traffic drivers. And in this case, we're seeing that a majority of that 30,000 visitors is attributed to the 220 keywords that actually ranks in the top 3 positions. Of course, from the 4th to the 10th position on the first page of Google also will get the traffic as well. So these basically give us idea of where these keywords are. And that's going to be important for you to understand as the momentum and traction is starting to pick up. You'll start to understand what that does to the revenue. Now, compared to this month, we in a month of December, we had 220 keywords in the top 3 positions and 357 from the 4th to 10th position on the first page of Google. Now, the following month, we have 266 keywords in the top 3 positions and 410 from 4th to 10th positions. So, and in month of January, we gained a little bit more keywords. So we got 14,427 keywords. Now, in the month of January, the store brought in total sales of 96,876, showing the signs of recovery, right? We want to get back to where we were with the numbers. Now, in the month of February, the store ranked for 16,082 keywords and brought in significant amount of traffic onto the website. Those keywords actually brought in 48,217 visitors onto the website. You probably are wondering, what did that generate in revenue? And I'm going to get to that in a second. So in the month of February, the store actually was back to its normal numbers, 127,000. So it basically took about 2 months of recovery time for the website to fully start to recover back to its original average revenue month after month. Now in the March, the website actually ranked for before we get to the March, we need to go back to something interesting here. Do you remember how we had 266 keywords here, right, in the top 3 positions? Now we have 330 keywords in the top 3 positions and 456 from 4th to 10th positions on the first page of Google. That's a huge sign of like, traffic hack right there, organic traffic hack. And then obviously the revenue attributed to that, right? Now in the month of March, the website rankings demonstrated a strong upward trajectory. Once again, ranking for a total of 22,958 keywords. And then now take a look at this data, guys. We have 411 keywords now in the top 3 positions. We have 742 keywords from 4th to 10th position. You see that growth? It's like, skyrocketing. And then the keywords that are actually from, 6th page to 10th page, we have 14,000 keywords there. So like now what's going to happen is all the keywords that are getting indexed all the way behind Google or on the 10th page of Google, it's slowly starting to like get acknowledged and it's starting to move. Get acknowledged, it's starting to move. And that's exactly what you want to do, because first Google must discover that you rank for X, Y, and Z. Then once Google decides that, hey, website is indexed and is ranking for these keywords, then you can start moving those keywords towards the first page of Google. Now the month of March rankings brought in 54,265 organic search traffic to the website. That was like very good company. Even when they were ranking for 88,000 keywords, before the migration, they were not bringing in traffic like this. And the thing is, it doesn't matter if you rank for like millions of keywords. If those keywords, out of those millions of keywords, you don't rank for the proper keywords on the first page of Google in the top 3 positions, you're not going to have a good success. I mean, you could rank for whatever you want, but it's just based on the data. That's not how it works. Now, as a result, website brought in a total of $172,000 in sales. That was in the month of March. Very good success. We actually beat the average month. And there was not like too many promotions going on during this time. So now this is a strong indication that organic rankings are working and they're ranking towards the first page of Google. We're seeing the strong indication for that. Now in the month of April, take a look at this data. The website ranked for a total of 26,021 keywords. Take a look at this. Top 3 positions, we have 446 keywords. From the 4th to 10th position, we have 920 keywords. And then we're hitting a pretty good heavy traffic hitter keywords. Now look at this. From the 6th page to the 10th page of Google, we're seeing 16,581 keywords. So the website is getting acknowledged for more and more keywords. Now, as a result, in month of April, these keywords brought in 75,208 organic visitors onto the website. That's huge. That was like the highest visitors this website has ever seen in its life from organic efforts from Google. And that resulted in generating $219 and 981, it generated $219,000 in sales, and it beat the sales from the previous month. I mean, we're looking at this beautiful graph here. So like now, let's go down here. In a month of May, the website ranked for 28,727 keywords. And now if you take a look at this now, look at this. Top 3 positions, we have 487 keywords. Then we have from 4th to 10th position on the first page of Google, we have 1,087 keywords. And then that resulted in breaking the highest amount of traffic we've ever gotten on this website from organic keyword rankings, 84,116. Now, during this month, the website generated a total of $272,967 in sales. Now, that right there is a very nice, healthy data right there. Today is June 13. I'm making this video on the June 13, 2024. So this website ranks for 30,070 keywords. And we've experienced a little bit of a traffic drop due to the newest algorithm update. And right now, like we're competing in like a one area that our keywords actually kind of got dropped. But we have a backlinking campaigns that we're blitzing out right now, which is gonna like help us tremendously and get back into the positions. But right now, we have 72,000 visitors coming from all these keywords that we rank for at the second. So we're gonna finish this month pretty strong. But if you can take a look at this, in the month of June, we're looking at top 3 positions, 491. Probably by the end of this month, we'll probably break that. It might be like 500 plus. It could be like 550. I don't know exactly, but it will probably be pretty high up there. And so far, from the 4th to 10th page, we have 1,123 keywords. Current revenue right now from the June 1st to June 13th, almost 2 weeks, we did $110,000 in sales already. All because of these keyword positions. So there is a couple of things that you guys need to keep in mind when you're making the migrations. Do not panic. It's normal. Like the websites will lose the rankings, and even if you put like all the everything in place, you will still experience your rankings to drop. And best thing to do is to follow the system that I have here. I have a whole site migration SEO checklist that I've designed, that I've personally utilized on every single client that I've migrated myself. Or worked with after a client's actually migrated. And if you take a look at this whole thing here, it'll give you a good indication of what it looks like. It's a 33-point pre-migration considerations, and that's a checklist that I've created out of this, right? So we have the this goes into the details. I'm not going to go over this entire details right now, but I will give you guys access to this document, and you guys could implement this yourselves. So going back to, let me go back to, so out of this checklist, there is 4 core focus areas that should be prioritized when making the migration. Number 1 is redirects and URL mapping. I mean, you absolutely have to do that. Number 2 is content and structure preservation. Number 3 is technical SEO and configuration. And then the number 4 is analytics and monitoring. And I'll tell you what I mean by this, right? Here's the breakdown of those 4 core focus areas when migrating. So talking about redirect and URL mapping, right? That's a very important one. You want to ensure that all old URLs from your old site are properly redirected to the new URLs. That's a very important one. You want to set up 301 redirects to maintain the link equity and avoid 404 errors. Absolutely avoid it. And you want to create a detailed URL mapping spreadsheet to track old and new URL. And if you're part of my Discord, you should be able to get access to all these things. Like I have, URL mapping, spreadsheets and everything that you guys could use as a template. And then we have a content and a structure preservation. This is an important one. And what I mean by that is you want to preserve the website's content and its structure as much as possible. You want to ensure that all important pages and their content are retained and correctly transferred. You want to update the internal links to reflect the new URL structure immediately. You want to make sure there is no broken internal links. SEMrush is a really good audit tool for this. When you link your site to the SEMrush, SEM can actually help you identify that. Then you have technical SEO and configuration. You want to verify and update canonical tags to avoid duplicate content issues. You want to ensure that the new site is properly indexed by search engines through updated sitemaps. You want to update your sitemap. You want to check and maintain the site speed and mobile friendliness. You want to absolutely make sure that the website has a fast load speed. Like, I mean, that should be a number one, like, focus. Google does not like ranking sites that are slow. I mean, I have many case studies on that. Analytics and monitoring. You want to implement and verify Google Analytics and Search Console on the new site. So benchmark analytics before migration to compare post-migration performance, and you want to continuously monitor the traffic, rankings, site speed performance post-migration to identify and fix any issues promptly. Because trust me, like when this is happening, you got to be on this like a hawk. The last thing that I do when I do make these migrations and I follow through my checklist, which you guys will have access to, what I like to do is I like to build some quality backlinks immediately after the website migration takes place. And reason for being is, one, to regain the lost authority. Quality backlinks can help reinforce the authority of your new URLs, boost indexing. Backlinks can, help the search engines discover and index the new URLs more quickly. And then traffic recovery. Quality backlinks can drive direct traffic to your new site, helping to mitigate any temporary losses in organic traffic. And actually that traffic and duration of that traffic on the website does help Google to rank your pages better. So what I like to typically do is I like to build like one or two do follow backlinks from quality sources. Don't go get some like cheap links and stuff like that. You don't want to do that stuff. Avoid any black hat stuff or even gray hat stuff. Be careful with it. One or two do follow backlinks across the entire website. If you can do one or two, or two or three more, it would be even better. The more the better. But do what you can handle, start with that. But when I say one or two, I mean, like, let's say if you have 50 pages, right? You would build one or two do follow quality links to all 50 pages. And whether it's coming from, same sources, where you build the backlinks, it has to make sense. You can't do a spam approach. I actually have a good video on how to build backlinks on my channel. So if you're subscribed to my channel, you can actually browse through and check it out. Also in my Discord, we give a lot of information on how to build backlinks, and we have private videos made about what's the best ways to build backlinks, things like that. So if you're part of my community, you'll be able to have access to these resources. So that's pretty much, everything that you guys need to know if you're migrating from one platform to another platform. Expect your rankings to drop. And if you follow my checklist pre-migration, you'll be able to avoid completely losing your rankings. I mean, I've seen some horrible stories where people completely got screwed. I mean, they didn't know what they were doing, or they're hiring an agency that doesn't know what they're doing. There's a lot of agencies out there who claim they know everything, but they don't know nothing. I mean, a lot of my clients actually have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars coming to me after they've been screwed over by so many agencies. So it's sad, it really is, and people find this as an opportunity, and I don't support those kind of agencies and people that do this style of a business. So it's not very honest and it's not very honorable. So if you guys have any questions, please drop them down in comments below. I'm gonna link my Discord and I'm gonna link this checklist in my description below, so you guys can get access to this for free. Yep, I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks for tuning in.